see something so obvious, a problem with a totally free solution, but nobody does anything about it? It's wild, right? Well, in the business world, this isn't just weird, it's costing companies a fortune every single day. So let's get into what's really going on with this productivity paradox.
I mean, seriously, why would any business put off a solution that requires zero capital investment? Think about that. A way to boost your productivity, make things run smoother, and it costs nothing up front. So why the hesitation? What's the holdup?
Right. This leads us to what productivity specialists call the capital-free puzzle. And it is a puzzle. We're seeing small and medium-sized businesses everywhere just sitting on this incredibly powerful system that could make them so much more efficient. And the kicker? It costs them absolutely nothing in capital. Zero. Zilch. It makes no sense on the surface.
And just so we're crystal clear, we're not talking about buying fancy new machinery or some complicated software package. Nope. This is about a way of thinking, a way of operating. There is literally no financial barrier, which, just makes the whole thing even more baffling.
Okay, so if money isn't the problem, what is? It's clearly not about the budget. And that, my friends, is where things get really interesting. We've got to peel back the layers to find the real reason for all this foot dragging.
Okay, look at this. This chart just lays the paradox bare. On one side, you've got the flashy stuff, new machines, new software, big-ticket training sessions. They cost a ton of money, but guess what? They get the green light, no problem. But then, on the other side, you have this competence system, stuff like just defining roles clearly and setting standards. Costs nothing in capital, and it gets stuck in maybe later, forever. It's completely backward, right?
And here's why. Spending money on these visible solutions, it feels like you're doing something. It creates the illusion of progress. You can point to the new machine, you can show off the new software dashboard. It's a shiny object that says, hey, we're solving problems, even when it's not touching the real underlying issue. It's like putting a fancy Band-Aid on a broken bone.
So if it's not some big, catastrophic failure, what's actually draining the business? Well, the productivity loss we're talking about isn't some huge explosion. It's quiet. It's sneaky. It's like a slow, silent leak. The perfect metaphor for it is death by 1,000 cuts. Tiny, little inefficiencies happening over and over, day after day, that just slowly bleed the company dry. And you can see exactly how it happens. It all starts with something as simple as unclear roles. Nobody's 100% sure what they're supposed to be doing. So what happens next? Inconsistent work, of course. And that means people are constantly having to fix things, redo work, and make corrections. It just becomes normal. And that constant churn, that's the leak. That's your time, your money, and your productivity just vanishing into thin air. There's a great line in the source material that just hits the nail on the head. Money leaks gradually from the business without ever appearing as a single obvious loss. And that's it, isn't it? You're not going to see a line item on your P&L statement that says wasted time. It's hidden. It's in the extra payroll hours, the thrown out materials, and the sheer frustration of your team who are just trying to make a bad system work.
And this brings us to the root cause of it all, the real reason this whole messy, inefficient cycle keeps spinning. It's because people were never given a clear, simple definition of what a good job actually looks like for their role. No clear standards of competence. That's it. That's the whole problem.
So, we're back to the big question. We have a free system that fixes this huge, money-draining problem. So why on earth is everyone delaying it? What is the real reason? The answer has nothing to do with money or logistics. It's all in our heads. It's psychological. We're finally going to pull the mask off the real culprit here. And believe me, it's something you'll recognize in almost any workplace.
It's a concept called psychological hesitation. And what that means is we are naturally reluctant to really look at how work gets done day to day. Why? Because we know it's going to expose all the messy, inefficient little workarounds that we've all just kind of accepted as normal. And let's be honest, that's uncomfortable.
And that is the absolute key. This system of clarity, it doesn't give you anywhere to hide. There are no new gadgets or fancy software to distract you. It forces you to look right at those uncomfortable truths. It's just so much easier to get approval for a new app than it is to stand up and say, you know what, the way we've been doing this all along is just broken.
Okay, enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution. What does this amazing, free system actually do? It boils down to one simple, powerful idea: clarity. Just pure, simple clarity.
And it's not complicated, which is the beauty of it. All it does is define what competence means for every single role. It sets clear standards for what good performance looks like. And it requires you to show that the work is being done right.
So instead of a vague goal like be good with customers, you get a concrete standard like resolve 90% of issues on the first call. See? All the guesswork just evaporates.
The change this brings is huge. It's transformative. Because once everybody knows exactly what's expected, all the excuses just melt away. The whole conversation shifts from finger-pointing and confusion to talking about actual, real performance. Accountability is suddenly black and white.
So let's flip this whole thing on its head. Let's stop talking about the cost of the solution and start talking about the real cost of doing nothing. Because when you step back, the irony here is just, wow, you can't miss it.
The one system that costs nothing, the one that's specifically designed to plug all those little money leaks, is the exact one that gets put off the longest. It's incredible. Instead, companies keep pouring money into flashy, visible solutions that don't even fix the root problem.
So at the end of the day, the real question isn't, can we afford to implement this? No. The real question is, with all that money quietly leaking out every single day, how much longer can you really afford to wait?